the funny thing is today, there was this guy. Okay, so like I was out on the job site, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, you know, I'm walking out there to take pictures of the tower to make sure like everything's right. I had to ask the architect a question, so I needed to take a picture.
Mm-hmm.
I see this guy. I'm like, hey, yo, put your hard hat on. And he immediately pulls his hard hat out of the back of his truck. He's like, got it right here. Poop, puts it on his head. And I was like, oh, that was easy. Thank you.
You're on
Fuck
it.
yeah.
You're on it.
Appreciate.
Should have been on it before.
You know, yeah, I know. I see, you know, his head. I'm looking at him. And then, you know, in the distance from behind him, you know, this other guy's walking across the street without a hard hat, you know, still on site. And I was like, oh, well, I gotta go tell this motherfucker.
Right.
Put on his hard hat. So I'm walking over there away from the tower. And I was just like, you know, I was like whistling. I can't really.
I can't whistle.
I didn't want to whistle into this.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I was like whistling. You
I don't know how that'll sound. We'll check it out.
I was whistling at him, and you know, he kind of, you know, looking around left and right, not at me though. Now I'm behind him, and I was like, I'm always like, yo, you know, I'll yell that, but yo in Spanish means I. Oh. Like I am, yo soy. That's how you say I am.
Right. True,
and so it's like me being like, I, you know. So I was like,
just like, who's professing
their
exactly. existence behind me?
Exactly. So I feel uncomfortable when I say that. Yeah. So I was like, hey. And he turns around and he looks at me and I was like, you have a hard hat? And he looks at me just like a blank stare. And he turns around and keeps walking. Like, and there's no one else that I could have been talking to.
Right.
And so I was like,
clearly aware.
This motherfucker. So I walked over there and I was like, hey, you got a hard hat? And he was like, I don't speak English. And I was like, what?
I'm sorry, is this a Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah, I was like, what did you just say to me? Yeah, you just said that well. And
like, you said that with a British accent, sir.
I know, right? He's like, I don't speak English.
Like, oh, no, your people created this language, sir.
You are from England, the land of the English. And so I was like, do you have a hard hat? I said it again.
Yeah.
And then I was like, tienes un casco. You know, do you have a hard hat in Spanish? And he's like, yeah, it's over there. And he points at the building that's behind me. And I was like, okay, well, go put it on.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, it's over here. And he turns around and points in front of him away from the building. So I was like, wait, where is it? Let's go get your hard hat together. Come on. So I start walking with him to his truck, and he's got his lunch bag with him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was just kind of looking at the bag, looking at him. I was like, I don't recognize this guy at all. What the fuck? And so we get to his van, and I was like, all right, put on your hat. And he takes off his bandana, and he puts his lunch bag at the floorboard of the truck.
Yeah.
And grabs his fucking baseball cap and puts it on. And I was like,
yo, I'm not worried about your eye shade level.
I was like, put my, you know, hands on my temples or my fingers on my temples, and I was like, who do you work for?
Right.
Who do you work
Rocco,
for?
It's okay, buddy.
And he was like, and he looked at his vest, and I was like, Chamberlain? Like, Chamberlain doesn't work for us. Like, who is this company? Like, he's like, oh, I don't work for them anymore. And I was like, okay, I'm asking you who you work for currently. And he was like, hey, he shrugged his shoulders, and I was like, I can't tell if he's super ignorant or he's an asshole. And so I was like, what do you do here?
Are you talking shit or are you dumb?
Yeah, I was like, do you frame? Do you do roofing? Are you a concrete guy? Are you a plumber? And he was like, I was just here. And I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
You're like, sir, just tell me something.
Like, Hayden, do you play the bass or do you play the guitar? You're like, I just ate. I'm just like, wait, what? That doesn't even correspond with what the fuck I just asked. Yeah, I know, right? You're not. And then, like, you know, we're standing face to face. I got a little whiff of his breath, and I was like, raunchy, first of all. And then I was like, is that a little carbonated yeast that I smell? Which is, you know, yeah, exactly, Kim. And so I was like,
beer, whatever.
Is that your lunch bag? And he was like, yes. Let me see it. And I grabbed it, and I was like, this is your lunch bag, right? And he was like, yes.
You're holding it.
Yeah, I was like holding it up to the side of my left hand, and I spun it around, and there's two big ass 40s at the bottom, and I was just like, so what are these?
You have the 80 in here.
Yeah, and I was like, what are these? He's like, cervezas. And I was like, get your shit and get the fuck off your job.
Yeah,
and he was like,
go.
Okay.
Yeah,
like he like already knew. He was like, okay.
That is so funny.
And I was like, don't come back either. And then I turned around and I was like, bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude, it was right after you had sent me that video.
That's funny.
Oh, my God. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Dude. I don't know. Just some of the shit I deal with at work, I'm like, dude, you guys are ignorant or assholes.
That's just like a interesting, that was probably what, 5 full minutes of...
Yeah, just 5 minutes of my time.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta go take a picture.
That's how your day started.
Yeah, and then I had to fucking fire this guy.
Started as slightly erect.
Yeah.
But then you got erect and got straight on
direct.
And
then told him to leave the premises.
That's funny. Speaking of work, last pod we talked about how I won tickets to the Rangers game. So we go to the Rangers game, and it comes with a parking pass, but like it's not clear on the parking pass like what lot. It doesn't say lot D or anything. It's just like parking pass, season parking. And so we pull into this like the first reserved parking, and there's a cop like working the front. And then we're like, we have this, and I showed it to him, and he started yelling at us. And we're like,
how close are you guys?
We're a foot and a half. He's leaning in my car. Oh. And then he's like, you can't come in here. That's not for this. And I go, sir, it doesn't say. And he goes, well, this is lot E or something. And we're just like, okay, sorry, sir. And then he was like, you can't turn around in here either. Okay, you know what? Fine, turn around. And then we were just like, okay.
Am I stuck here?
Calm down, sir. Like, we literally asked you a question. Like,
you're a public servant.
You're a public servant, sir. I'm
just saying. I'm not going to say it to your face, but that's what you are.
Right. I said it right to his fucking face. No, so we U-turn, like, in the lot. We leave, and we go down to, like, we finally get in the parking lot that we're supposed to be. It's kind of far away, but we parked in the shade, which we were leaving at night anyway. But it was just... It was a good spot, and it had like a clear walkway through trees that was completely shaded up to the stadium, so it was pretty dope. But the first place we turn when we get into the stadium, there's like a tent inside, inside, and it says clearance merch, additional 50% off. Oh, and we're like, whoa. I'm a bargain hunter. Okay? I have like 10 tabs open at any time on Chrome of different things I'm looking to buy, like within the next 6 months.
Oh,
and
my
I'm just
God.
constantly
Hunting
watching
for
prices.
deals.
Dude, I do not buy shit full price. But sometimes I do. Like if there's no other way around it, like you just have to do it. But I'll look. And we walk in there, and they had tons of sweet hats and tons of shirts. And I pick up, it's a Star Wars, like, Texas Rangers collab hat. So I guess they had, like, a theme night. Mm-hmm. And it says Star Wars on the side, like, official logo, though. It's just white. Looks cool. Mm-hmm. And, like, the front is the Texas T logo. But, like, it's been swiped up with a lightsaber. And it's just, like, super dope. And it was, in the sign said, additional 50% off marked price. The hat marked price was $19.99, so I got that hat for $10 fucking dollars.
That's badass.
Chase's hat
was a steal.
$9. It said $8.99. He got it for $4.50, dude.
What?
Yeah.
That's badass.
And they're official Texas Rangers hats. Like
on top of the free tickets. That's cool. That's
on top of the free tickets. Yeah. And then like I got they had like a bunch of towels like with like the old Texas Rangers logo. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh shit, I need a workout towel. Like I was just at the gym working out and super sweaty and using my shirt, and I was just like, it'd be cool if I had a little towel. So $2 for that towel, official towel. And then they had this like neon colored, multicolored, and like shapes baseball. It was 50 cents. And
what?
I was like, fuck yeah. So I got a hat.
I got 50 cents. Yeah,
I was like, 50 cents? I kind of just want this baseball to like be a child right now. I just want to fucking buy baseball for 50 cents. Which, you know what? That's how much they should be.
If we're being honest.
Let's be honest.
We're not half the time.
But yeah, so I got the hat and the for less than like all that for less than $15. And they're like, it was dope.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, so I'm walking in. I'm already got a hat. I got all this merch. I've only spent $14 or some shit, you know? And then we just, seats were sick. They were like looking at first base, but they're in the second level, the Lexus level.
Oh, so you're close.
Yeah, there's like a waiter who like comes around and gets your order and stuff.
Damn.
But we're in the second level, and then we were like kind of in the back under the shade. So even though when it was still sunny and bright outside, we were in the shade.
You weren't cooking alive.
Yeah, dude, and like I like got up to like throw away the trash, and like one of the workers came over. He's like, "Oh, I got that for you, sir. Thank you." And he was saying thank you to me, and I was like, "Thank you." No,
yeah, well, I don't want to say you're welcome, but
the trash can was 2.5 feet away. Like, not really, it was like 6 feet, but it was right there.
You could have thrown it. It'd be rude, but you could have thrown it.
Dude, it was so fun.
That's awesome.
And the fact that we didn't pay for it meant like, oh, we can walk around and not feel guilty that we've missed 2 innings.
Yeah,
whatever,
for
you know
sure.
What I
mean, yeah.
And so we get the game starts at 7:05. It's 9:30, and they're just starting like the 6th inning, or they're still in the 5th inning, and we were just like, fuck, dude, it's 9:30. We're tired. It's like dark outside. I'd only had 1 beer, which I don't drink beer, so like to have a Bud Light Lime, like I wasn't fucked up. But like I was full.
Was it a big one?
No. It was like the normal
in a can, like 12 ounces.
Yeah. So I had 1 beer and then I had nachos, which the nachos were so fucking good. But we walked around a lot. We were sweating. Like I was just ready to go home, you know. And we left, came home. We turned on the game like 30 minutes after we got home, and it was still fucking going. It went to like midnight, dude. Rangers won, but it was just like. And when we left, we were down 7-2. And we came back and won.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Hell
8-7.
That's badass.
Fucking for real. So, like, watching the game at home was fun because we were like, oh, we were just there.
Yeah, that's cool.
But, yeah, dude, it was cool. Like, I'm stoked that I spent, like, in total with, like, food and beer, like, $60.
That is dope, yeah.
For 2 people, you know? And, like, we got everything we wanted.
Yeah, I like going to baseball games more for like the social aspect. Like if like a bunch of people are going, be like, oh yeah, I'll go and have a good
there's
time
like
with
nobody
you guys.
around us but one old couple in front of us, but the guy was like really old and deaf, and he kept saying like what, so he couldn't hear anything we were talking about, and his wife was like so focused on the game, and like she would just say stuff to him, so like we were basically alone.
No, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it was great. There was no
filter, no censoring anything that you wanted to say.
No kids. Nice. Yeah. It was sweet, dude. It was so fucking sweet.
That's badass. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, I'm just like, my favorite sporting events, live sporting, I think, pound for pound for your dollar.
Oh, wait. Can we say this at the same time? Because I feel like I know what it is. And I was going to mention it.
Okay, so we're going to go 3, 2, 1.
And say it.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Dallas
hockey.
Stars. Yeah.
Hockey. Okay, yeah, okay, cool, Stars. Yes.
Specifically for me, though, Dallas Stars.
Nice.
Like, they kind of, for a few months out of the year, rule a lot of my social like evenings. Like I'll plan work around it because like,
dude, we can go to a hockey game,
dude.
I those motherfuckers are violent.
If there's any sport that I respect like on the same level of MMA, it's fucking hockey, dude.
Agreed. 100%.
NFL athletes are, to be honest, the freaks of the world, because those linemen should not be able to move that fucking fast and powerful. Period. You know. But those hockey players might be the toughest fucking people.
Tough.
With professional UFC fight, like they're the same fucking level, but for different things. But the thing is those hockey players basically get in like a small car wreck like 3 times a week.
Oh yeah.
You know, like,
fast.
Yeah. Like at the end of those games, you must feel like you were just in a fight. You have
to wear a suit of armor to play that game.
Like from just getting thrown into the wall, and like some of those dudes are like a lot bigger than the others.
Oh yeah,
and you're on skates.
Yeah, there's no weight classes or anything like that. I got a buddy who plays for. I think he plays in college for Boston. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
he plays in Boston. I don't remember, but dude, he's had some severe injuries.
Yeah,
yeah, missing teeth. Doesn't give a fuck. They have like no vanity in like what their physical appearance is because they get so roughed up. They just want to play.
They remind me of jiu-jitsu guys, but
like straight hardcore jiu-jitsu guys
are a lot more conceited with their looks and gear. Sometimes, like looking like a flashy son of it. A lot of these hockey players,
I feel like once you get past the purple belt level, you lose a lot of those guys, those stragglers that hold on to that.
Because you're just
like,
so stoked to be a purple belt and competing with cameras.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, you're just like afterwards.
It's like you're like you know, I mean, you get your blue belt, that's a big thing and everything,
Right.
but getting your purple belt, you're a bad motherfucker.
Right.
Like, to get your purple belt.
For sure.
But you're still kind of like, you know,
You're still,
head in the clouds,
yeah.
you know, big head,
Yeah.
definitely on cloud 9. But when you're a brown belt, you're just committed to the lifestyle. So your fingers are fucked up by then. You've, like, you know, your
Definitely.
nose has taken a lot of damage.
Probably had a surgery.
Yeah, like, yikes. Yeah, there's a lot of damage that comes with that.
For
And so
sure.
you just, you're, and those people are a lot more humble than purple belts.
Yeah.
Purple belts are, you know.
But
A lot of
hockey,
them are-
like, those players, like, they get fucked up in the middle of a game, and they're like, all right, give me 2 seconds. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? There's no easy way out for them. They want to fucking play. You know what I mean? It's so cutthroat in there, because you can get sit down to the regional circuit like fucking that. Like down to like I don't know if it's like considered the regional circuit, but like the minor leagues, like our team, the Texas Stars, like
demoted,
right? And then they bring someone else from the Texas Stars. Like obviously, if you're Jamie Benn or like Sagan or fucking Radulov, like that's not gonna happen if you have a bad game. But I
they've
mean,
established themselves.
It's
like,
cutthroat, dude.
top
I'm
contenders.
so stoked for the season. Fuck, I am so stoked. For
dude,
this
I remember last season. This goes back to like free tickets and stuff.
Oh shit!
This is someone that I used to work for, so no longer work for them. But this guy was fucking weird.
Oh shit!
Just a
I have a
weird
weird.
guy.
Yeah.
He's a
I have a
weird-
weird guy story in
Dude,
Dallas.
he's a weird guy, and like I get a voicemail, and he's like, "Hey Jordan, this is so and so. I'm calling you on Monday at 8:47 in the morning. Please return my call." And he hangs up, and I was like, "I'm in fucking trouble." Like, you know, he's telling me, even though the voicemail
You're
will
like,
tell
is this
me.
a detective?
Yeah, even though the voicemail will tell me when he fucking called, because we live in the 21st century.
Wait, and so you got this voicemail, or you heard it at the Stars game?
No. I'm just at work.
Oh, you're
yeah,
just
I'm just at work. Okay.
Okay.
And you know, I get this message from him, and at the current time, he's my boss. I no longer work for this person anymore. But at the time, you know, he's a superior.
So you knew who this person was?
Yeah, I know who he is.
Oh, this whole time I thought you got a random call.
No.
That's what
I'm
said.
saying I
thought it
work
was
for
it.
this guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
but
My
I
bad.
don't anymore.
Yeah.
And so I get that message from him. So I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
And at this point, he had already attended one of my jiu-jitsu tournaments too. And he's like, "Hey, send me the address for that. I think I can make it." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." Texted it to him because I didn't think he would, but he was
Right.
my superior, so I was like, "Whatever." Send it to him.
tells me, yeah.
And then I see this fucking maniac at my jiu-jitsu tournament, and I was like, "Oh my god, he fucking showed up." And
Sweet.
yeah, it was. I mean, it was cool. I was like, "Wait, thanks for being supportive. I've known you for all of 3 weeks,
For
but
sure.
whatever." Anyway, back to so he leaves that creepy ass voicemail, and so I call him back. I think I was like,
Does he talk like that normally, or was it out of character to have like a voicemail from him saying?
No, he was just fucking weird, and he always talked. He would always talk in some sort of weird manner.
Well, at
Maybe
least-
not just like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'd be super silly, and you're like, none of what you're saying is funny, but I'm
like,
gonna
Jordan,
laugh.
you're gonna be fired.
Yeah,
And
I
you're
know.
like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
like,
So
wait,
you're
wait.
48.
Yeah,
Please
I
don't
know
talk
right now.
like that.
Dude, he was probably a little older than 48, too.
Yeah.
He was probably like
So yeah, he's
55 or
he's
something.
55, not giving a shit about
He was
how
probably
he-
like Rick Sage.
Yeah.
Purple belt Rick from the gym.
Yeah.
And so I call him back, and I was like, "Hey, just want to make sure everything's good. You left that message. I didn't mean to miss your call. What's going on?" He's like, "Jordan, what are you doing on Saturday?" And I was like,
I cannot move any furniture for anyone.
Yeah,
I
I was
also can't do any landscaping, but free parties and shit.
Well, I was
could
just
be
like,
open.
"Wait, what's going on?" And he was like, "I got called to his superior's office. I got called to our superior's office,
Yeah, go
and I
shit.
thought I was in trouble." And I was like, "I don't want to get dragged into this.
You're like, sir, say it.
Yeah, just tell me."
Fuck.
And he's like, "I got called into his office. He sat me down. He looked me in the eye,
Right in the soul.
and he gave me 2 free tickets
Son of a bitch.
to the Dallas
You
Stars game."
son of a. You should have been
And
like,
I was
sir,
like-
you're a son of a.
I was like,
bitch.
"Fuck yeah!" I was like, "Okay, cool, good for you." I still had no idea where this conversation was going.
Yeah.
He's like, "So I was wondering
Bullshit.
what you were doing on Saturday," and it didn't even hit me at the time that Saturday
I
was my
literally
birthday.
just muttered like, you should. 'Cause he was definitely inviting you to the Stars game.
Dude, this guy was weird though. I would
fuck.
not go anywhere with this guy.
So you didn't go.
Well, I gotta finish.
Oh shit!
The weird thing was that he was like, "Oh yeah, I got 2 free tickets. I was wondering what you and like your girlfriend were doing, at the time." And I was like, well, I don't know, actually." And I didn't. I mean, my birthday was that day, but I didn't even think about that at the time because I was so weirded out.
Oh right.
And he was like, "Well, I was thinking about stopping by the job site," and I was like, "Oh my god, he's about to nail me with 2 free tickets. I'm gonna take my fucking girl to the game. Hell yeah!"
Yeah.
I was thinking about driving to the job site and dropping off 1 ticket and 1 parking pass to you. And I was like, "Wait, just 1?" He's like, "Yeah, just 1. And then you and I can meet up there and we can go to the game together." And I was like,
okay,
I've got to check with the lady to see what we're doing.
She might have been throwing me a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And I hung up, and I feel like I'm not elaborating enough on how weird this fucking guy was.
Oh no, trust me.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, he was a weird guy. I can't really give you too many examples right now without incriminating or revealing who he is.
Incriminating.
Yeah, I know, right? No, so
because he always said his full name and social security number with everything he said.
Yeah. So anyway, I didn't go to that Stars game because I didn't want to be taken advantage of. Not like sexually or anything, but like, just like
in
weird
any
experience,
situation.
weird guy. Yeah, didn't want him asking or picking my brain about my coworkers and shit. And I think he was like on a vendetta to just fire people, fire people, fire people. So I actually didn't go to that Stars game, and I'm kind of sad about it. But also, I was not going with that maniac.
Right,
guy was fucking crazy.
Oh shit! I almost directly coughed right in the mic.
Blow your eardrums out.
Oh yeah, so a couple years ago, I went to a Stars game, and the guy sitting next to us was wearing he was late 30s, early 40s, right? Kind of balding up top, wearing 90s dad style, Jeffrey Dahmer style polo.
Yikes.
Like just shitty coloring and like the thick dad material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then like jean shorts. With it all tucked in, and then some dad New Balances and like socks.
God, I'm so glad my dad doesn't dress like that.
Yeah, dude. And we were behind the goal, and just like a couple rows up. And actually, we were the second row, I think, behind the glass. And the Ice Girls came out to skate around. And the whole time he's watching, kind of like sitting forward in his chair, just like smiling and watching. And he has his like a water bottle with him. And he got up to do something and come back with like another water. And at first I was like, okay, is this guy like adult like Down syndrome or like adult Aspergery? Like is he on the spectrum? And I don't think he was, because like he kind of cheered and was like talking, and like I think he answered a phone call and I heard him like talk normally, and I was like, oh, this is just like a normal, just like weird
a normal dude. Fucking weirdo.
Yeah. And then when the Ice Girls came out, he pulled out his flip phone and started taking pictures.
What?
And like smiling.
What year was this?
It was like 3 years ago probably. And like I was like, and it was the most excited he got the whole game, and I was like, that's why this dude came with his 11-year-old phone.
An extra phone at that.
And he's taking... Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like, this is the phone he has from his wife. And she finds it. It's just pictures of cheerleaders and Ice Girls.
On a flip phone? She's like, these aren't even high quality.
She's like, you could watch porn, Greg. That's fine. This
on
is
your
worse.
iPhone.
Yeah, this is worse than watching porn.
This is weird.
It's weird. And just the whole time, it was the tipping... point, not the tipping point, but like the tipping piece of info. He smelt so bad. Yeah, like BO. I think I remember like the sensation of Funyuns, kind of like that funk. But yeah,
that's a little BO-ish.
Yeah,
a little onion Funyun smell.
The last time we went to the hockey game,
it's also gross.
Yeah, it is. We sat next to this. We were sitting next to these two dudes. They were kind of bros. They were like younger kids. I could tell they were like between my girlfriend's age and my age. So like they were just like, like 23, 24, or like 24, 25. And the goalies, like I think his last name was like Quick, and it was the opposing team's goalie. And we were just kind of sitting there, and I'm like eating my food, drinking my beer, and I heard him go, the guy next to me go, bro, to his like friend. He goes, you think that goalie's quick? And like I laughed, and he looked at me, and I was like, that was solid. And we just like started talking, and like the whole game we were just like friends and everything. Got his information. We both followed him on Instagram, followed us back. One of the dudes, and like before we left, like the guy that was sitting next to me that was like really cool, he lives in Colorado. He's just kind of like a hippie kid, you know. And the other guy, the guy sitting next to him had like the Rolex that was like green.
Oh shit!
And it was like silver and green or gold and green, and it was like, I know that watch. It's a nice watch, and I was like, dude, that's a sick watch, bro. And he was like, oh yeah, thanks. And then his buddy was like, yeah, he's got one for the Mavs too, the blue one. And I was like, oh shit. But when we were leaving, we were like exchanging Instagram info, and his friend was like, the guy sitting next to me was like, yeah, dude, follow this guy, he'll make you rich. And I was like, what? And then I started following him on Instagram, and he's like a motivator and kind of like a
public speaker.
Yeah, but he's like in his early 20s. And then I was like, oh man, this guy's a joke. And like he was posting like motivational quotes, and he's vegan and like just all this stuff. And I was just like, man, this dude's full of it. He's not doing anything. And then like after a month of following him, I was like, this guy is so legit.
Really?
Like, dude,
God damn.
No, this guy is very smart. And I don't say that about these like
anybody.
No, I just don't. And I just like, and he was just posting real stuff. And we had like, I'd gone in his DMs a little bit like about some stuff I'd seen on his story and vice versa. He's just like a cool dude, and was like, you know, I'm selling my house, and he posted like a listing to his like house that he was selling, and I was like, oh shit, like this guy's like, oh okay,
legitimately rich.
Yeah, and like he's young, and like the things he was spending his money on, and like the things he was showing, I was like, this guy's like not full of it. Like,
where is this guy now?
He's like still he lives in Dallas, but he's always traveling, always doing meetings and stuff.
Wait, when did you meet him?
At the Stars game.
This
is the guy I'm talking about. I got his Insta. He was sitting next to us.
Right. No, I know that. But when was the Stars game? Last season?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, last season. So I've only been following him like less than a year.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy, like to see this like young, and I was seeing like how he was living. Totally like jealous. You're like, dude, this 23-year-old kid's fucking like.
Damn.
He might be a little older than that, but killing it.
Is he in real estate or something? What is he?
No, so Bitcoin. But then I was like, okay, but like if he's just about Bitcoin, then like a lot of those dudes are full of it. But then like he was showing like all these other like businesses and like stock trading, and like Amazon stores, and like, you know, buying Amazon stores and like having like selling, you know, a product. And this dude's got.
Dude, yeah, I know this one guy. I mean, he's not like crazy rich or anything that I'm aware of. I mean, he doesn't flaunt that, but he's always talking about cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and to an extent, there's so many, and like you can easily lose your money, and you can easily it not even be fucking worth it.
Right.
But if you got in at the right time, and you're smart, and you also are like, the one thing I always hear is that you have to be diversified too. You can't just 100% be crypto. Like, you've got to have money.
Yeah, you have
to have real lines of credit and access to real liquid, you know, funds to, you know, be actually like wealthy. It's not just Bitcoin. And this fucking kid that I told you about, like, definitely was like, I thought he was just the crypto guy, and then I started paying attention. I was like, oh shit,
damn.
So if I ever have 50 grand to blow, I'm going to this fucking guy.
Hell yeah.
And he'll post up shit like that. That's like, if you have 50K liquid, I want to set up a meeting with you. And it's not like 10 spots available, blah 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 blah. No, it's like real personal. Like, I'm looking for this, and I'm just like, oh, this guy's fucking.
I mean, those are pretty much all the pointers where you can tell you're like, oh, this is like fucked off and not legitimate. When they're like, I got 10 spots left, and you're like, wait, that's what you said.
And it's never like, oh, if you have $50, turn it into 800. It's never like low like, shit what? Like that, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's always like legitimate, like sums of money, like 90-day ROI at like this percentage, and you're just like, oh, like, okay, so like you're real. But yeah, you were saying about your friend. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just mentioning that. Yeah, and he talks about it a lot, and then he asked recently. This was in the last like 7 days. Just looking for like business partners to start a bar in which cryptocurrency can be used, and the prices fluctuate based on, I guess, I don't know if it's the market of the cryptocurrency and the popularity of the drink. So I was just like, that sounds way super complicated, but do you invest in this do you invest in this like with Bitcoin or like you know like US dollars? And he was like, either. And I was like, yeah, I'm already confused.
Yeah, and you're like, also like, is that legal? Like, can you have a product that fluctuates in percentage to like the currency? Like, I don't know. You know, America has weird laws for stuff. You know, for
shit. I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to buy my first house and fucking.
And then he's like, all right, I have 1,000 shares available. $10 each. So who wants to own 1/10,000th of mine? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, well, I'm like, dude, I need to study more, and I don't even have the time to study, and nor the desire.
Yeah.
And so I might be missing out, but I don't know I'm missing out. So
also, I feel like it would be really stupid to like give someone $50,000 if you truly couldn't afford to lose it.
Yeah,
you know, like for sure,
that's
right?
Like, that's like you shouldn't make these super high risk investments like that.
Like I would not just give any of my friends $500. Like it would be like a hit. You know, I'd be like, no, I can't do that, man.
I've done that one time in my life, but that was to someone that I super trusted.
Yeah, I've helped out like friends for sure.
Like for something.
You know what I mean? If it was just like, oh, give me $500 for this thing, man, I'll bring you back 1,000. I'd be like, no way.
Oh no! I got paid out. I got paid back what I had loaned. For sure. It wasn't even a loan; it was a borrow because I was like, no, you know, there's no interest or anything like that. But, yeah, fuck that.
For real, dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Just like that, I met this fucking guy at the Stars game. Oh, and we were talking about Stars game the other day, and me and Chase were talking, and we went to one a couple years ago, and we're sitting there, and I'm looking around, and I look to my right, and I see this guy who looks just like Frank Reynolds from It's Always Sunny. Like, short, balding, he's a fucking mess, gross, just like...
Looks like he stinks.
He looked like Frank Reynolds in character. Like, it was bad. And then I, like, turned to Chase, and I was like, look, Frank Reynolds. And Chase just goes, yeah. And then I was just like, oh shit, I was expecting like
a laugh.
Yeah. Like you kind of blew it off. Like, okay. Like, and then like a solid 15 minutes later, 10-15 minutes later, I just hear Chase busting out laughing, and he goes, there's Frank Reynolds. He didn't even see the guy at first. And then he had just been looking around and saw the guy, and he put it fucking two and two together. Dude, we haven't laughed like that hard. It's so fucking long. I love Stars game. I think for your money, there isn't a better live sporting event. You're indoors. You don't have to worry about any fucking sun or weather other than just getting there. The AC in there, it's fucking cold, so just like you can wear a jacket or a jersey and you're fine. And like the food is fucking great everywhere. I mean, it's got normal like stadium food, but if you're like in the like nicer level, the like reserved level, like they have some dope ass fucking food and bars and clubs, and like I love Stars. Like
go Stars.
Yeah, I have so much of my shit is Dallas Stars.
Like, oh yeah, I've seen a lot of it actually.
And a lot of shit around the house. Like I have a Dallas Stars neon clock. It's the only team that I rep hard, and then Texas Rangers after that. But like I only have a couple Texas Rangers things, and one of them I just fucking got.
Really?
Like, I don't. 2 days ago, the hat.
I don't rep a lot of teams really.
Right. I've never been like a huge team sport guy. Like I played football and stuff, and I do support the Cowboys, and like I do watch some football. But like nowhere like NHL. Like I have the NHL app that gives me updates about the Stars and all that shit. So that's definitely my fucking shit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd like to go to a Stars game, but right now
I have other things I want to spend money on.
Yeah, right now I'm kind of I'm not in a bind or anything, but I'm trying to put my money away for the house and everything. So I'm just like, everybody's like, hey, you want to do something? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, well, come on out. I'm like, no.
You can't. Dude, for real. Like, I've been, obviously putting money in the tattoos, but still wanting to, like, upgrade the studio and our podcast. So I'm like, I have a budget for putting away money for both, and I'm doing it. So then, like, I can't go do all this stuff. But it's good because I'm able to put money away for both these things. So, like...
Yeah, exactly.
But I feel better. It feels better than going out and wasting fucking money.
Yeah, a lot of people call me and they complain about, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. And I'm like, dude, you invite me to the bar all the time.
Right, dude, you spend $35 a night.
At the bar?
Yeah.
Nah, bro, that's maybe you on a heavy night, but people spend much more than that at the bar.
I'm not a bar person.
Yeah, like, I know you're not. You're you're not much of a
that's
bar
only
guy,
like
but,
three $10 drinks.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, shit.
You
Yeah,
know,
you're
so,
right,
I mean,
dude,
you know,
fuck.
I mean, some people drink, you know, like Bud Light and, you know, lesser drinks,
Yeah,
but
if
other
you just
people
drink
drink
a few
like craft
beers.
beers and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I typically drink Shiner, but I might get like Blood and Honey or something, and that's like $8.99. That was $8 for a tall.
Plus, you get food and stuff.
Yeah, you get food, and then like, I mean, a lot of people like smoke cigarettes and whatnot, which is like, but like, you know, people do, and you know, that's more money there, and I'm like, wow,
sitting there,
all
like,
of that. Yeah, I was like, that's
fuck.
a little
I didn't even
pricey.
think about that. I'm so not a going out to bars person.
Yeah, me either.
Fuck the crowds. Fuck the people who are there. Typically, I'm not like friends with those like people.
Like, I'll go to the bar if someone invites me that I know, and it's more than, you know what I mean, I'll go for a little bit,
really
but I won't stay till you close.
Yeah.
Because then I'm tired the next morning and dehydrated, and then I get my ass beat during practice. Right. And yeah, it's
I'm just like,
bueno.
Yeah, and like I know I would have felt worse after that one beer I had. I mean, I just don't drink beer, but we walked around so much and we sweat so much that it was just like, it had no effect. It had no effect. But yeah, I'm definitely not like the kind of person that wants to go out to bars. It's just not even my like vibe. I don't like the crowds. I don't like, you know, I feel like I haven't like gotten in like a bar fight, but like I've been in situations where like things have got heated, and then I'm just like, we gotta fucking go before like some shit pops off.
Yeah, see, I mean, like, I wouldn't say I don't like going to the bar, but I just don't like spending the money associated with the bar.
If I'm gonna spend money, I would love it to be at home and be able to like what we did last week and get a bunch of fucking food.
I passed out.
Yep,
dude. I
watching 241 UFC 241.
Knocked the fuck out.
You did not watch the last two fights.
What? Wait.
Did you see Nate Diaz win?
Yeah, I saw Nate Diaz
win. Okay, so Nate Diaz, but you did not see DC.
I saw a part of the DC and Cormier
Stipe.
fight. Yeah, I didn't see the very end, which was obviously the most important part. But you know,
PD lost his fucking mind.
I didn't move a muscle.
Yeah, no. PD yelled and jumped, and I was all about it. Like, it was crazy.
Sure, but I mean, I was dead.
But like, yeah, you didn't move. I covered you up with a blanket.
Appreciate. Yeah, I woke up at 4 and I was like,
and like, blanket.
Where the fuck am I?
Did I plug in your phone?
Probably.
I think I plugged in.
I mean, you plug in
phone.
my phone anyway.
I plug in everyone's phones. I don't like short, dying batteries. You know?
I mean, that's a good thing for me. You know, I just look over and my phone's plugged in.
That's
but yeah,
6:15 and my phone is at 73.
What's his name? I loved Costa's performance. I really did.
He's a sap. So yeah, let's get into some 241 recap breakdown. Yeah. Costa was the fucking man.
Paulo. Yeah. He's good, bro.
Also, he's good because Romero didn't look bad either.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that Romero looked his absolute best.
He didn't look as good as when he fought Robert.
He looked like he had to like wind up and get going. Okay, yeah,
but
here
I think
we are.
That was a testament to Costa throwing him off.
Yeah, maybe I agree with that. Yeah,
maybe.
But I just think it took a little bit longer than normal for him to rev the engine and get started.
Right.
But he performed, and he performed well. And I think, how many rounds was that fight?
That was a 3-round.
3 rounds?
That was a 3-round. Yeah.
I'd like to see what it would be like if it went 5 rounds.
For
because
sure.
we know for a fact that Yoel Romero can go 5 rounds and perform in all 5 rounds.
I mean, Costa got gassed too.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
It would still be interesting to see them
how
in
they
deep
pushed
waters. Both of them.
In round 4 and 5. Especially when you're clashing of the will, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think that would be really good. Saw a little bit of, Costa getting a little gassed. But,
definitely.
Dude, they were throwing bombs at each other. They were hitting each other hard, man.
And they were taking it.
Moving and grooving, bro.
Yeah,
it was not a boring fight.
Paulo won by decision. I think it was a split decision. I'm looking right now. Dude, so total strikes. Romero had 125 total strikes.
Against
Costa had 118. Ooh. And significant strikes, same.
Really?
Dude, so they're saying all the strikes were significant strikes? I mean, I guess with those guys fight, they are. And Romero got a takedown.
He did.
And a knock.
Well,
they each got a knockdown.
He knocked him down, but I think he was a little like, lost his footing. I don't think
definitely.
I do agree with that decision, though.
It was close. It was a close fight.
I think most of those significant strikes of Yoel Romero's must have come in the end of round 2 and then throughout round 3.
Okay.
Because round 1, I was like, where you at, Yoel?
For sure.
Like, come on, let's pick it up. He kept sticking
his tongue out. Didn't he drop
Costa
Costa in the first round, though? Can't remember.
I don't know if it was the first or second round, but I think it was because of his loss of footing. I mean, it still counts as a knockdown.
That was true. That was true.
It still counts as a knockdown. But, he got a little wobbly on his feet, not because he got hit hard.
And now Costa's probably going to fight the winner of Stylebender and Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whittaker. I think Costa bullies Stylebender. Mm-hmm. And then I think he gets fucked up.
I think Whittaker retains his title.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think Stylebender's a harder fight for Whittaker than Costa would be.
So if our guesstimate, our hypothesis, whatever, moving forward, we think that Costa's going to beat Stylebender. I would like to see Stylebender and Yoel Romero. Stylebender does not seem as big as those guys.
He's very tall.
He's very tall, but I'm talking about
he's pretty
thickness.
Thick. No, he probably walks around at 205. 210 lean.
He just doesn't seem like it compared to
Well, he doesn't have the muscle. And those guys cut a lot of fucking weight.
That's true.
Stylebender has to get through, or not get through, because he might fight one of those guys off a loss, but his next fight is Robert Whittaker. Like, that's signed.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Robert Whittaker is one of the best pound for pound. Like, he's a motherfucker.
Dude.
Like, he's...
thick boy.
God. And he went up a weight class. He went up from 170 to 185.
And so he feels a lot better. A lot less dehydrated.
Speaking of 170, the next fight was Pettis versus Diaz, and that fight fucking delivered.
Yeah, it did. It went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Diaz showed the fuck up.
Diaz, I think he usually does. Sometimes
Definitely.
You see his performances compared to others, and
but his last few fights, he's shown the fuck up.
Yeah,
for sure.
That kind of just goes to show how the UFC has really not given the Diaz brothers the credit they deserve.
And he's becoming a fucking star right now. How he handled the post-fight interview, calling out Jorge with respect. The way he did it, Jorge smiling like, dude, we're about to make so much money.
Yeah.
When you get two savages who are just OGs and they're
just down for the fight.
Right. And then because they're like hard dudes, they're kind of like, fuck you if we're gonna fight, but they also don't care about the person,
Mm-hmm.
But like when they two get together and they're just like, they're smiling and they're like, dude, we're gonna fight. Like, it makes me more hyped because I'm like,
oh yeah,
the respect there.
Yeah, it's the respect. It's the mutual respect there, but it's not. They're not like trying to hype up the game, like trying to hype up their shit talk. He's like, no, I'm just talking shit to you because I'm gonna beat your ass.
And then he's like, all right, bro, let's fucking.
All right, you think you're gonna beat my ass?
And like, it's not like when you just have like two respectful guys who are already respectful guys respecting each other. Mm-hmm. That's not the same as when you get two people who don't give a fuck about how they come off respecting each other.
Right. It's pretty genuine too. And
Anthony Pettis is honestly like that. There was a while he was trying to be like the good boy because UFC was pushing him and he was champ, but he is a motherfucker. And
for sure. I don't think he's like a classy gangster, I feel like.
Yeah. He's a more mature gangster. Yeah, like, for sure. For real. And he's a bad dude. And he had a good fight. He got beat up.
Yeah, he did.
But it really wasn't fucking.
But he didn't stop moving.
No,
he kept throwing.
Yeah, I was,
he took some good shots.
He didn't lose much stock. I don't know who he fights next.
I'm not sure either.
We'd have to look at the standings and who has got fights coming up. Mm-hmm. But I don't think his stock dropped very much. And I don't think it will. And I think he said he might go down to 155. Just whatever fight's available. If they offer him one at 170, they offer him one at 155. Whichever one. Because he's not huge for 170. He just does that so he doesn't have to cut weight.
Yeah. I feel like, and it shouldn't be this way, but Nate Diaz, I feel like, is a star because of the people that he's fought. Not necessarily because of him fighting, because he's always fought the same way. He's always beat the shit out of guys.
He's definitely a star because of how he fights, but also, because
once he fought McGregor though, he blew up, and it's like, well, he's always been this hard ass motherfucker. He's always been a hard ass motherfucker.
Yeah, for sure.
It just kind of sucks that the majority is kind of just like.
Well, and he's done plenty of interviews. They've all done a ton of press. Jorge's been doing tons of press.
Oh yeah,
which is cool. I like seeing all these interviews with these guys. Like that's what I like, and the press is getting better. Mm-hmm. Because they're on ESPN now. Like, they gotta get their fucking shit together. They can't just be asking dumb questions. Which they still do. But I like how Diaz is talking, and he's talked about his brother. He's like, my brother's the best fighter in the world.
He's always said that.
Yeah, and that just makes you like love him even more because he's down for his bro. I want to see I want to see his brother come back, Nick. I want to see fucking Nick Diaz fight again. You know?
Yeah, I don't. I do. I just don't know if I see it happening.
What if they do a Nick Diaz Anderson Silva 2?
Is Silva still fighting?
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's always in fight shape.
Oh, he may have gotten suspended again.
Yeah,
I don't fucking know what that guy
Everybody's
anymore.
getting suspended.
His son just fought.
Really?
Yeah, and looked good. Like, decent. I mean,
yeah.
This is like son's like first like MMA or kickboxing fight or whatever it was. Then we had DC versus Stipe.
Yeah, I saw the beginning of that fight before I got knocked out.
I mean, DC was standing in front of him, not respecting his fucking punches. When DC was in Stipe's range, the one thing I noticed is he was standing straight up. And yeah, he has to stand up tall and punch high to hit Stipe, but you can still have your chin down and you can have your shoulder.
And stay within your range because the range is different.
For sure, and he just wasn't doing that. He just wasn't respecting it. But Stipe was only just kind of landing. He wasn't like fucking him up. He was doing good, but DC I thought was winning. And then they told like Stipe started going to the body.
Yeah. Oh my god, the body shot. I saw several body shots.
I think that happened in the third. Like he threw one, and then I think going into the fourth, they're like, "Hey, you had success with that. Keep doing that." And the finishing sequence, holy shit,
brutal.
He was so accurate. He got like 40% better and accurate in the last 20 seconds of that fight. He just turned it on. He was like, fuck this, I'm winning.
I think so. Like a lot of people would say in their first fight that DC poked him in the eye and everything that happened right before he got the best of Stipe and ended up winning. And so whether or not that's 100% true or factored in, who knows? We'll never know.
Right.
But I think maybe DC lost the respect that he should have had for Stipe, and he totally bought into his own hype.
Maybe.
And I mean, it got the best of him. I think it's pretty foolish that he didn't use his wrestling.
Definitely, and he's talked about that.
It just was like, why don't you take him down and beat him up? Like,
How do you think Stipe does against John Jones? Let's say that fight happened tomorrow, and they were both like healthy.
If they're both healthy and they both come at it the way they should, dude, I don't think I could ever bet against John Jones.
He's a piece of shit and all these other things, but
outside of the cage, we're not concerned about that. No. We're talking about the fighter that shows up in the cage when it's locked, the bell rings, they touch gloves. Who's gonna win? John Jones.
I don't know. The only
Bones
two people
Jones.
who
Johnny
really
Bones
stand
Jones.
a chance are DC, and he's lost twice, but he had success against him.
He had success in the second fight.
Exactly.
And then he got his head blown off.
And I think now DC might be done. But and I think Stipe has a chance. But I think John Jones is the fucking king of the jungle when it comes to MMA.
Dude, his body type too is pretty built for it. He's got skinnier limbs, or I don't want to say skinny, lankier limbs.
Right.
But they're long.
And
he's got a lot of leverage. His wrestling, I mean, he wrestled at a junior college, but he still has
wrestling
elite
for
wrestling.
MMA
it's elite.
Right.
100%.
He took down DC. He's the first person to ever do it.
Yeah.
No, John Jones, I think, is the fucking king.
He's thrown people like they're garbage, like world-class fighters.
Let's wait until Gordon Ryan
oh my God.
4 years makes it to the UFC light heavyweight division. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're a UFC, I don't think there's a UFC light heavyweight that could survive 2 minutes on the ground.
On the ground with Gordon Ryan?
Yeah.
Nah.
Even with MMA rules.
No.
Like if they just start, like I think Gordon Ryan grabs something and rips it apart and takes it home.
Yeah.
He's a savage. I know.
Dude,
he just fucking is.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was on banned substances. When I say banned substances, I mean steroids.
Shocked.
Yeah, he used to be. I think he went through a little phase where he must have cycled off or something because he gained a lot of weight. I mean, it doesn't look like that anymore, but it was between him being a yoked as fuck and being jacked as fuck. So I mean, he got
and he has the benefit that he's young. He's only like 22 or whatever.
Gordon Ryan's not 22.
Yeah, he's not that old.
He's not that old, but he's not 22.
How old is he? He's 24.
Okay, yeah.
So he's got healthy testosterone, young, if he has good genetics already, plus some supplementation, the dude can get fucking jacked, man.
Yeah, he's very naturally
I'm stoked for Gary Tonon's MMA career. He's really he's shown that he is serious about his striking. and becoming better at his striking and really not just being fucking Demian Maia. It took Demian Maia way too long to even get like
hands.
Yeah. Like,
or be able to move his feet.
Right, you know.
I was actually just about to mention Demian Maia because, you know, on the subject of speaking of grapplers that are moving into MMA, he's got a fight coming up with Ben Askren. Big wrestler. Funky town. So who do you got in that? It's really minor hands in jiu-jitsu versus minor hands in wrestling. You got Askren?
I got Askren because I think if Rory McDonald can put together the game plan he did to fuck up Maia, I think Ben Askren is going to take some blueprints from that and be like, oh, like, okay, I'm going to stay away from these positions. I'm not going to shoot these takedowns. But I could also see like him standing up with Demian and getting tagged or something, you know, something weird where we don't even like see their grapplings.
I don't know if I can see it not going to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, with both of them. What if they both shoot, hit each other in the head, knockout?
Askren's career is over if that happens.
Yeah, 3 weird ass fights where he just keeps getting knocked.
This funky kid keeps getting thrown around. He's an elite wrestler. He's an elite wrestler.
Yeah,
and he got his ass launched by Robbie Lawler.
He really has had the weirdest UFC career. You know,
2 weird fights.
Well, they threw him to the fucking wolves, which is what you would want from him. I mean, Robbie Lawler is not an easy first fight in the UFC. With the lights on you and all that, and then Jorge Masvidal.
Within the last month, though, Robbie lost a decision to Colby Covington.
Yeah.
And he maybe hit Colby like 10 times.
Colby impressed the fuck out of me.
Bro, I was anti-Colby. Now I'm totally neutral Colby.
I'm neutral Colby to liking him because it's such a character. And he's talked about it being a character to sell.
Yeah.
So, like...
It's not him.
Yeah, I love that he's just like he's
this
just
isn't me.
Faking
I'm just
people. These people just and they're buying it, but also like he is a motherfucker. Like,
dude, first of all, he's a great wrestler.
Yeah. Runs with Cam Haines. Okay, that's just not including fighting. If you're running with Cam Haines and keeping up, you're a motherfucker.
Dude, true that. And dude, he took Robbie Lawler down at will, and Robbie maybe defended out of like the 10 takedowns.
Right.
Maybe defended one of them and still got taken down.
I think Colby Covington's a bad dude.
Bad dude.
And I think that a lot of people in that division are actually scared to fight him. And it just makes them mad that he's Make America Great Again hats and everything, and like, but you know, and he's got the girls around him and stuff. But like, he's just fucking.
He's just living his life, doing his thing.
His like little fucking thing,
character.
You know? So
whatever.
But yeah, no, I think it's cool, and but yeah, that was a good event, a great fight card. I think one of the more enjoyable ones. We kind of threw a little shin dig. We
grilled some burgers. Yeah, that was good.
Barbecue baked beans, pasta salad.
Oh my god! And then the dessert was so good.
Homemade chocolate chip cookies.
God, they were succulent.
And then homemade banana pudding.
Succulent.
Dude, it was sweet.
It was great. It was awesome.
Incredible.
Please tell your mother I said thank you.
Yeah, she made awesome. Like half of that shit.
It was all so good.
Just so funny.
It was so good.
But she like offered. I was like, yeah, people are coming over. Like we're doing this thing. She's like, oh, let me make some food. I was like, actually, that'd be great.
No, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, could you? Because like that'd be sweet. But yeah, dude. Keep on the lookout. This is for the people listening. We may have done a recent photo shoot with Rachel. So we're going to have some stuff dropping on Insta. Some good content. I hope you guys are enjoying the posts we make with the pictures correlating. We work very hard. 45 hours a week on average per one post.
Per post.
Per one post. And then like 15-hour extras.
On top of my full-time job and training.
On top of my full-time job. Yeah. So that's that. But yeah, Rachel's feeling good. You're going to be seeing a lot more from her.
And you're going to see a little bit more of us.
For sure. Yeah.
I want to put my ugly mug in the story, and I want you guys to roast it.
Right. We're going to spit right at your
nice
fucking faces through the phone, and you're going to like it.
Get a little insight on the slightly erect lifestyle.
We still have guests coming on soon. We're going to have field trips, some video content dropping on YouTube. That's also going to be on Insta / our stories.
Some coordination and scheduling to do.
We're going to do a group scavenger hunt throughout the country. No, we're not. That would be dope.
No, we're not. But maybe later in life. We're going to bring that idea up in a couple years. But yeah, we got some coordination to do. You got another tattoo session.
Got another tattoo session
I'm
in a couple
going
weeks.
hunting with my brother.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
So
we'll probably post some stuff while I'm getting tattooed. I'm going to see Tom Green perform live in a few weeks also, or a couple weeks after that. So yeah, we got a bunch of stuff, a lot of content. You are going to be seeing more of us instead of just our logos and shit. So aggressive. But yeah, so you're going to be seeing us, and stay saw, y'all.
Stay saw.